Welcome to Tex Murphy Radio Theater. When we last left our hero, Tex woke up in a place he'd never been, blindfolded and handcuffed, but managed to escape with the help of a mysterious young woman. Moments later, the kidnappers returned to the room, finding it empty. When they checked the ledge outside the window and still couldn't find Tex, an alarm was raised. Tex must be found, dead or alive. And now, Episode 2, The Month of the Living Dead.
Hanging from ledges was a skill they'd never taught us at the University of Investigation of Utah, but it was something I'd found handy on more than one occasion. But by the time I heard the window close above me, it felt like my arms had been dunked in diesel fuel and lit on fire. Pulling myself up would defy all laws of physics as I understand them, so I looked down. I was at least 40 feet off the ground. There was a ledge below me, maybe 6 feet down, but it looked like a country mile away. But desperate situations call for desperate measures. I closed my eyes and let go. I was fairly certain both legs were broken, but that wasn't the worst of it. I looked over the ledge. 30 feet below me was a cast iron fence with long, sharp, pointy things on it. The branch of an ancient oak tree was almost in reach, but the standing long jump had never been my forte. I figure I needed to get a little lower before jumping, so I crawled back in through the window. I entered a dark room. Fortunately, my trusty Zippo was in the pocket of my trench coat. I moved the light around, looking for anything I could use as a weapon. Lacking the strength to wield a sofa or an empty bookcase, I found nothing of use. I decided to check under the sofa. No weapons, but there was a fortune cookie. You'll soon find true love if you know where to look. Yummy. Nothing else left to find in the room, I went to the door and looked out into the hallway.
Hey!
That turned out to be a bad move. I deadbolted the door and reviewed my options. There weren't too many. I stepped back onto the ledge and I thought about dropping down to the next ledge, but I was fairly sure that neither my arms nor my legs could take it. That left one possibility. Try for the oak tree. Harnessing my inner chi, I gathered myself and exploded off the ledge. Luckily, I landed on a bush. All that chi stuff is a bunch of crap. As I checked for broken bones, a bright light descended from the night sky. For a split second, I thought it might be the white light that they taught me about in Sunday school. Then I heard a voice.
You call for a cab? Or should I call an ambulance?
Nothing to worry about. I do this for a living. I'm a PI.
I hope you're good at that, because you're not much of a stunt man.
Ordinarily, I would have retaliated with a crushing comeback. You can't get much lower than being insulted by a hack. But I didn't have the heart since I was going to have to stiff him on the fare. I'd spent the last of my cash at the Golden Pagoda, and my abductors hadn't provided any monetary compensation. But I was glad to find they'd left not only my Zippo, but also my pack of unfiltered llamas. I pulled one out and lit one up.
Do you mind? Your cigarette's bothering me.
Yeah? Well, it's killing me. I smoked the llama all the way down, and seeing as how the cabbie never made a move for the eject button, I decided to use my line of credit to pay him.
Here you are, brewing stew.
I'll be just a second. As usual, Louie was a ball of fire, bouncing around like a pinball, keeping his usual diner full of customers well-fed and well-drunk. Somehow, amid the controlled chaos, he noticed me and bustled over. His welcome wasn't as warm as I'd come to expect.
Where you been, wife?
Beats the hell out of me. I hate to do this to you, but would you mind loaning me some cash? I got a cabbie outside who claims I owe him some money.
How much you need?
$40.
I
don't think he meant pesos.
$40? That including tip?
You tip cabbies?
Here's 50. You know, you shouldn't be showing your face in public. Go give this to the taxi guy and meet me round back.
Come on, Louie. You know I'm good for it.
Yeah, I know, Mike. It ain't that. We'll talk. Now, go on.
As I left the diner, I noticed almost everyone looking in my direction and whispering. Even the cabbie acted a little weird when I came back with the money, though it may have been because I gave him 5 rolls of quarters. After he flew off, I went around to the back stairs and entered Louie's apartment above the diner. He showed up a few minutes later.
Don't get me wrong, Murph. I'm real glad to see you. I've been worried.
Do you mind telling me what's going on? Why are people staring at me? I know I need a shave, but...
You don't know?
Do I act like I know?
Where you been?
What is with all the questions?
You're right about needing a shave. A shower probably wouldn't hurt neither.
Well, maybe I should go back to the Ritz. I had the cabbie drop me here because I'm having an out-of-money experience, and I thought you'd help out your old buddy.
You best stay right here. I gotta go back downstairs, but I'll send you up some grub. After I close up, we'll have a talk, okay?
I'd never turned down a free meal, especially from Louie. He'd sold out of the spicy lamb chili, but the special, whatever it was fit for a king. I spent the next few hours surfing 824 channels, and the best thing I could find was a Barnaby Jones marathon. I was well into my 3rd episode when Louie finally broke free.
So, you like the special?
Yeah, it was super yummy. What do you call it?
Meatloaf.
That's not what my dad called it.
So you want to tell me what you've been up to?
Okay. Chelsea and I went to dinner at the Golden Pagoda. The next thing I know, I wake up in some sort of hospital. A girl helped me get out of the handcuffs, and I jumped into a bush from a 3rd-story window, got picked up by a taxi, which drove me here.
Nothing else?
Well, in my book, that's kind of a full day.
What about before today?
What are you talking about? I saw you yesterday, right before I went to dinner with Chelsea.
I don't know how to tell you this, Murph, but you've been gone over a month, and the cops are looking for you.